Well, hello, sunshines. I pray that you are doing well. It is the month of December and we can still come outside. The snow that I told you all about the other day, it bypassed us. Okay. I know we're going to get snow, but I can't believe that I can still come out here in December. And it's just so beautiful. I'm a cold weather girl, meaning that my birthday's in December. I had to throw that in. But I'm just like, I'm always cold. So I don't know if that's cold weather, hot weather, whatever. I'm always cold. But I am so glad that I brave the cold now and I bundle up and I get out here. Fresh air is so good for you. Anyways, that's not what this video is about. This video is about the tour and what's going on in the garden. This will be a voiceover because there are things happening in the garden and work being done, preparing for winter. You might even hear some chatter right now. So I will be doing a voiceover, but I want you to see what's happening in the garden at the beginning of December. It absolutely looks good. Okay, I'll be back at the end. So let's start right here at the hillside garden. At the wall, as you all know, that there are foxgloves. The foxgloves apparently are evergreen. They haven't been taken out, at least by the frost yet. Have buttleia. There's a lot of greenery going on still in the garden. And to my surprise, I didn't think it would be. But we also have this lavender. I didn't cut it back. I left the lavender as is. I'm hoping and praying that it survives. This right here is a beautiful raspberry, I think agastache. The color is just so pretty. But as I continue to walk down this pathway, I'm just taking a look. The roses. Oh, I didn't deal with the roses. I was not able to get out there and cut them back as I planned on doing. Here, as we travel down the pathway on the left, we have some cypress. On the right, we have some junipers. And they are looking quite lovely. Also, this beautiful rose, another rose. The roses are just surprising me, still looking lovely. And so, as I pan around, this is the hillside garden going on here. Down in here, we still have a little bit of blooms that apparently are showing on this penstemon. And so this penstemon is in other spots in the garden as well. Sorry about my shadow. You're going to see that in a couple of these shots. I tried my best to avoid showing my shadow, but it just didn't work. But there's that juniper. That blue color is always so pleasantly beautiful to me. And as I pan over to the garden that we recently put in, there are more leaves over here. I did leaf blow a lot of the leaves. That is a dianthus with a bloom. But I did leaf blow a lot of the leaves, but I did leave a good amount in this particular bed because this particular bed doesn't have any mulch, whereas the other beds have mulch. But the plants seem to be doing just fine. We have had some cold temperatures, but we've also had rain. I just can't seem to keep leaves right there in this spot. But it's looking good. This little planter, I put in these beautiful, those are pansies, I believe. I always get violas and pansies mixed up. I believe those are pansies. They were in a planter and I took them out and just stuck them in here so I could put the planter up. And these hanging baskets, I'm telling you that lamium is one of those plants that will keep going and going. Look at the color on the rhododendron. I'm very happy about this color. I love this rhododendron in the pots. I did go ahead and shift my table over and took out all of my little baby frogs. But this section is still looking quite lovely. I love all the winter interest. This is a petunia. No blooms, but look at the foliage. Another hanging basket has petunias, lamium. These are some forgotten pots. This pot right here has sedum in it that has died back, so I'll have to do a cut back on that. And I forgot what's in the other plant. But as I but as I pan over, you see all the evergreens that we stuck in there. And the color is so pretty on this hydrangea. I didn't cut any of the blooms off. I just left it as is. And my willow trees have lost just about all their leaves. I really love these azaleas. I can't wait to plant those up. We already did a planting of those in the new garden, but we'll save those for next year. Still have a couple of things in the garden like Swiss chard and some sage, but tucking all the plants away just looks like I have so much going on in this space. I love how they're holding up. And look at my lamb's ear. This lamb's ear is looking great. It hasn't died back. I'm not sure if it's evergreen, but it's looking great. And all of the trees are looking beautiful. And my rose, my Julia Child Standard, all the foliage just looks so pretty. They had buds on them, but I believe they will not open. No more will open. I tucked away some more plants in this planter right here. The other thing I have back here is these snapdragons. And I believe there is one, yes, that was trying to bloom. So hopefully in the spring, I'll have a nice flush of these snapdragons. This side of the garden is looking quite lovely. More roses. See the blooms. I was not expecting to have rose blooms right now in December. Although, they're small and they probably didn't fully open, but it's just good to still see color in the garden, just like this color right here on this particular plant. Oh my gosh. And you guys, please forgive me. I'm going to work on it, keep working on it, but the names just slip my mind. But we're in front of the chicken run garden. Once again, we have some lamium that's thriving. All the leaves have dropped away from the lilac bushes. I totally forgot to cut back this bee balm. This was the bee balm that has powdery mildew. I'll just let it die back. I'll get around to it. But it looks very bare in front of this chicken run garden. Got some blooms that try to open on roses again, but it looks very bare now that I took the time to clean up and cut everything back. The sedum is definitely still giving us some interest with its blooms, but as you can see, it needs to be cut back. So I don't know if I'm going to do that in the winter or I'm going to just wait until the spring. One of our buttlias, gorgeous. Hang in there, buttlia. Hang in there. It looks so great. So this side right here of the chicken run garden, it looks a little more fuller than the other side, which is good because this side right here is a little longer than the other side. Those are the double blue. Ooh, double blue. Oh, I'm trying. We have hollyhocks in there. And so it looks pretty bare, but not as bare as the other side. All the leaves have dropped off the white Julias. And also the hydrangeas that are planted over here and this space that we extended. I didn't do much cutback over here, but as I go down the walkway, there is some sedum. But what's really nice is when we go over to this rhododendron and the guacamole coral bells. Look at that. It gives that nice pop of color, and this rhododendron is just beautiful. So that's nice to have that nice pop of color over in that corner. So here's a planter that I took the mum out and I planted up some bulbs in here. And guys, I still have not come out and get this last piece of concrete buried for the in front of this shed, this platform, but we'll get it done in the spring. And as we go over here to the part sun, part shade garden, this garden definitely has a lot more winter interest, and it's absolutely pretty with all the cypress. We recently planted up the little giant arborvitaes. We have a cypress right here, and so there is a lot of winter interest over in this side of the garden. I love that little tree so much, and believe it or not, it has put on some growth. So, but as you can see, this area, as we pan over, it looks quite bare. I don't think that the squirrels have been bothering our bulbs either. I keep checking and walking over, but only time will tell. But there are those coral bells in here, but they're just not popping out the way I thought they would. They're not showing up that great. And there's also guacamole coral bells over here as well. And then we recently planted up that Mr. Bowling Ball arborvitae. And as I walk up the path just to check on my emperor Japanese maple, all the leaves have fallen off. I did go ahead and put some, as you can see, some mulch around it just to protect its roots since it was newly planted. But I guess you can see the coral bells a little bit here, but look at all the buds on this hydrangea. I hope that I get blooms. I did not get blooms on that one or my eclipse, and I'm hoping to get the blooms on them. And so there is some Japanese what is that called? Japanese sage over there. It's a ground cover, but this right here is, we recently planted all of these ground covers to fill up the front of this bed. This is another hydrangea, and I hope that it's okay. That was transplanted. And then we have hellebores. Look at the foliage on that hellebore. So pretty. I look forward to getting the blooms on that. And I just love the color of the stems from a lot of these trees that I planted up. They are looking lovely. And as we continue to take a walk, there goes my shadow again, sorry. There is a lot of green over here too. So we have a lot of interest with the grasses, the yucca or yucca. There's coral bells up there, azaleas. So there is something to look at when you walk into the garden on this side. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. This right here is the Pentella. Look at that pretty bloom it has. I was not expecting that bloom. I have some more junipers over here. This was a daylily that was reblooming, but those blooms will not come to pass. As you can see, the foliage has died back. I want to show you all this variegated. You all know I love some variegation. I was sure to look at the tag so that I can remember the name of this dwarf honeysuckle. That's what it is. It is a honeysuckle. So I can't wait for a lot of the things that, and look at the scabiosa. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so gorgeous next year. But I can't wait for a lot of the things to just grow, continue to grow. And then we have a lot of the blanket flowers that need to be cut back. They just kept going and going. They're pretty much done now. I'm sure they've dropped a lot of seeds. I may have to kind of like move them away from my girl right here, this pine. It's a mugle pine, and she's so cute. Love that. Love her. And as we continue to go up, more ground cover, and we have more lambs there. We have those viburnum trees that already have set buds for next year, and I'm looking forward to those trees as well. So it's looking quite lovely. Here at the wall garden, another rose that's looking lovely, and then a wall, and I mean a complete wall. It's so thick of the foxglove. I'm gonna have tons of foxglove next year. I'm hoping for tons of blooms. I'm hoping. And look at the color that this monarch daisy is producing. I didn't get many blooms on this. As a matter of fact, this one didn't bloom at all. But that color, you can't beat that color. That color is absolutely gorgeous. So a lot of things have died back. All of our coneflowers have died back. All of our bee balm in here. The other thing is Candy Tuft is a lovely ground cover, and this is all Candy Tuft. It's gonna bloom these beautiful white flowers in the spring, and I'm looking forward to it. It's also evergreen, so it's going to stay like that throughout the fall winter season. I know we're not quite winter yet, we're still in fall, but you know, when we think December, we think winter. These are the only blooms that I got off the monarch daisy, and I talked about that a little bit, me doing the Chelsea cut on them a little too late. But once again, that color is fabulous. And we have another butterfly bush over here, more foxgloves. So we'll see next season, but the wall garden is looking quite lovely as well. So there is a lot to still look at in the garden. So I still take walks through the garden, and I just enjoy, you know, the beauty of the garden. Not all the blooms are there, but there's tons of greenery. And I love that. I love that. And the view of the trees is always breathtaking. Wow. Just beautiful. But I hope that you enjoyed the garden tour. There is so much beauty happening in the garden in December. And I think before doing all these tours and just not, before when I didn't garden a few years ago, I never really paid attention to what was happening with flowers and evergreens at this time of the year. I just thought everything was dead. But oh my gosh, there's so much beauty in the garden in the month of December. And so I hope that you enjoyed this walk around, this tour. I hope you're getting into your garden and that you're seeing the beauty in your own garden. Well, until next time, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to leave a comment, because I will talk back. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you've done all three. I want to say thank you. If you haven't, please consider. Until next time, blessings. Bye.